What is going on? I'm Zedmont. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Still got to work on my greetings because clearly I don't have any idea if you're new or not. Anyways, more importantly, the Rainmakers are here and they have been turbocharged and they're super op and overpowered and amazing. And the reason for that is for the first time in ever, you can now get two Rainmakers in one landing craft if you have level 24 landing crafts, that is. Now, on top of that, they've made some other improvements. Rainmakers used to cost 15 GBE to drop one of them. Now it's 12 GBE to drop two of them. So we are going to absolutely crush everyone that gets in our way. So first thing we're going to do is set up our base in a manner that is going to be able to defend Rainmakers. Now, you're not going to be able to defend them, let's just be honest, but the goal here is just to get one of them. Get a little bit of intel, and how we're going to do that is by hiding a grappler off to one side, and that grappler is going to be surrounded by things that are approximately its color. Now, the other trick here, you'll notice that I've got my boom cannons on the edges of the map. That is important. You want your boom cannons probably more like now, this one I've moved forward a little bit. Probably want to put it right about here. And the reason for that is that Rainmakers target using Zuka targeting. They target the most damaged and they have massive range. So what's going to happen is your Rainmaker is going to target, say, this cannon, and it's going to move up to get that cannon, but it's going to put itself in the range of the boom cannon. I'll show you that in a second. We are going to use Kavan. I never use Kavan, so you have to realize that that just shows that there is a purpose for him. We're going to use Ice Shield, and the reason for that is anytime your boom Rainmaker moves into range of something dangerous, you just click the ice shield button and everything is hunky dory. That's all it takes. Now I'm going to try and do a demo right here, but it's probably not going to work because they're going to absolutely explode everything in their way. Now, I've got two boats of medics loaded, probably need one if that. These things are glass cannons, as you can see right there. That rocket launcher doing a little bit of damage to them, and this person is an all-offensive base. So you do need to be a little bit wary of their health because they are a little bit wimpy. We're just going to watch everything go up here. They're targeting all the things we want them to target. Now, what you can do here is mark something. If you're worried about them targeting something that you don't want them to, mark the boom cannons. That's going to keep them from going in the range of that boom cannon, and it's going to all of them target that one. Obviously, just like Zuka's targeting a flamethrower, if they bunch up though, you are going to have some problems. Now, they do outrange CMOs, but again, you gotta watch because if they start bulking up in front, you're going to have some problems. Now, the ideal hero for these things, in case you're using them for the first time, Kavan is pretty darn great. He's going to heal them. He's going to protect them with his damage mitigation ability that he does passively. You can also use Everspark. The problem with Everspark's going to stand in front and she's going to die. So yes, the critters are going to help distract and stuff like that, but Kavan is better. Now, for max levels, Bullet will stand out front as well. Bullet's going to drag any of your medics forward, though, and you need your medics healing your Rainmaker. So there's all sorts of combos you can do, all sorts of different options, but I like to stick with Kavan because he's simple, he's going to stay alive, he's going to heal them. And now, one other thing to be aware of is that if there are sniper towers at the shore, sniper towers will somehow hit your Rainmakers when you drop them. You'll flag drop right in here. Now, this is another option for dropping your Rainmakers. Just drop them side to side. Let them just kind of hang out in there. And maybe the only thing is, be careful when you drop your medics because they're going to run back and forth and the boom cannons are going to blow them up and you're going to be sad. So just be aware that they're going to do stupid things. You see that boom right there? See, right there. That is exactly why I was talking about them bunching up. This cannon got damaged, so our Rainmakers went towards it, and that center boom cannon managed to get a lick in, and all it takes is one shot from a boom cannon, and down goes your Rainmaker. So these things are expensive to replace. You're going to want to be careful if you don't have instant training, but you don't need to do silly drops like I did. Just drop all your Rainmakers, shock some things, and off you go. There are some requirements. You're going to need to do some fancy things if you want to take down like 10 boosted ice players and stuff like that. I have beaten global #1 with Rainmakers a number of times way back when I did my push, and that was when they costed a lot more GBE. So Rainmakers, they're going to be super, super amazing. You're going to hate them as a defensive player, but as an offensive player, you can clear your map with basically no losses. I know I had a loss there, but that was just me trying to demo something when it was totally 1000% not required. Now, one more thing to note, the tribes right now are going to be free for this cycle. Supercell admitted, hey, we made a bit of a mistake, so rather than make it unfair or reset people or anything like that, they just said, you know what, tribes are free this cycle, enjoy. Now, this cycle of the Mega Crab, I'm not super duper. I'm curious because typically, if we were going to have like the critter cannons and stuff like that, they would have given them to us already. So my initial thought is this cycle of Mega Crab is going to have, it's going to be called the Proto Crab, but it's going to basically be the Rainmaker Crab, which I'm not super sold on. I was really looking forward to having the Shockeneers and the new revamped Engineers and the Melon and all those kind of ears, but we will find out soon enough, I suppose. Now, do let me know what you think of the Mega Crab, if it's going to be all Rainmakers, and hopefully I'll have a sneak peek for you sometime this week as far as what the Mega Crab is going to look like. But I gotta say, I really, really am hoping for some Shockeneer action because Shockeneers and Meloneers, I loved both of them. They were fantastic to play with, and if we don't get them, I'm going to be a little tiny bit sad. Now, you'll notice that these babies don't care about shield gens, I think. Don't shoot the shield gens. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we're going to have to wait, or we can throw a flare over there and get rid of them. But just like other troops, they're not going to worry too much about... Actually, you know what? Let's see. Are we killing? Yeah, look at that. Friendly fire is enabled, so do be a little bit careful. You saw there was a critter on that shield gen, and it got blown up pretty darn fast. So don't let these things shoot your troops. You will regret it. Friendly fire is going to be a problem. These are not Meloneers. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but lots of things going on in my brain at the moment. So you'll notice that all of my tribes are absolutely maxed, and as a result, we didn't have to spend any of our raw crystals. So that's going to be a huge boon for a bunch of you. Hopefully, if you're a low level, you're going to get these two tribes boosted. I know, a little bit sad the fact that we've got medkit and medic healing, but at least we get grenadier damage. But not going to be using grenadiers for a while because Rainmakers are essentially grenadiers, but better. More range, more damage, less health, I believe. But another thing is, no one is going to see max level Rainmakers, unfortunately, because by some silliness, the prototypes are not able to be maxed. We're going to be able to get them to level 24, I believe, maybe 25, but it's just not able to get them maxed, unfortunately. Maybe Supercell needs to add some extra tokens. Not sure what the answer is there, but it would be really, really nice to be able to get them up to rank level 5. Now, this person has 3 shock blasters, thinking that they can slow us down even a little bit. Probably not going to be the case. I am going to mark that right-hand side boom cannon because, like we saw earlier, they do like to put themselves in harm's way. And now we just need to watch for boom cannons and shock blasters and stuff. Should be able to stay off to this side. And we're just going to shock that boom cannon. And I mean, this base is done. Everything's done but the crying. So Rainmakers, an amazing way to clear your map, especially at a low level. At low levels, you don't face a terribly lot of boom cannons, so just stick Kavan. If you have to, if you're low on GBE, heck, throw like 5 boats of medics with them if you have to. Just be aware that your medics will hit some boom mines and you will be sad. So clear some boom mines, clear some boom cannons, and then just drop and watch. Now, realize that you're probably going to want to drop your troops, go grab some pizza or some coffee or something, because they are not the fastest troops out there. But as you can see there, we are outranging that shock launcher, no problem at all. The shock blaster just sitting there, not knowing what's happening. And at any point, I just keep my thumb over the ice shield button, because if you see a boom cannon turn towards you, you just hit that ice shield button, and then it gives you time to throw a bit of a smoke on the corner one that's in range, or you shock the boom cannon. But all you really need is ice shield, and you are off to the races. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, hey, let's use second wind. The problem with second wind is that it draws Kavan forward, it draws your medics forward, and we don't want anything forward. We're just going to hang out back here, watch all of the things explode, and just get rid of all of the boom mines. Now, obviously, I should be scouting right now instead of talking, but I don't see any hidden grapplers. That is really all you need to be aware of. I just gave you my secret tip, which is at the beginning of this video, we placed a grappler, and then we're just going to look out for them, and otherwise, boom mines, and that's all you really need to be concerned about. We're going to flare over into here. We're going to shock all of this stuff, and then this base is going to go down, and we're going to celebrate and probably not lose any troops. Now, every single time I've said I'm not going to lose any troops, I've managed to lose some troops, so I'm probably going to lose some troops in about 3 seconds or so. You'll notice that sometimes Rainmakers don't like to follow flares. This flare was over here, and our 2 Rainmakers are over there. Can be a bit frustrating for certain, so just be aware that on occasion, Rainmakers don't follow flares. I'm not exactly sure if it's like based on which part of the firing mechanism they're in when you throw your flare or something like that, but we're going to watch that boom cannon, make sure it doesn't turn towards us, and if it does, we've got our ice shields on the ready. So straightforward. Rainmakers do not take a lot of skill, but a little bit of knowledge, knowing how they target makes a huge difference. It can help you avoid losing Rainmakers, and they are quite expensive, so just be aware of those small details, and you're not going to have any problems clearing your map, and you're probably going to get raided a whole lot of times. So log on, clear your map, spend those resources, and then just be aware when you're logged out, you're going to get raided by all sorts of people using Rainmakers. But Rainmakers aren't for everyone. They are not fast troops. Obviously, you could use brick with them. We'll give it a shot just as an attempt to speed things up, but I'm not super sold on this idea. It's probably terrible, but we might as well give it a shot for science. And realistically, a lot of you are probably just going to stick with a whole bunch of Scorchers because we don't need to bring Rainmakers in, but for me, Rainmakers are a nice treat, so that's what we're going to do. So, what I'm gonna, you know what, we're gonna go like this. I'm gonna damage that boom cannon, and then we're gonna drop all of our Rainmakers right up here, just so that you can see what the heck I'm talking about as far as their range. Maybe, just maybe, they're gonna blast that boom cannon. It's gonna be very close because their range is just so far that it all depends on where you drop them. And I think their range is 18 tiles, I believe. I have a graphic on this, but I haven't managed to bring it out for this cycle, so do check out my previous videos if you're curious about their range. Brick got us 1 round of battle orders and then she died, so Kavan, definitely a better option, but at the same time, do mix in some Bullet and some Everspark and all that sort of stuff, but realize that realistically, Kavan is probably your best bet. Bullet is better in many instances, but for those of you who are just looking for a generic recommendation, go with Kavan. Kavan is the man. I never say that. I don't like Kavan at all. He's the worst hero by far, but he does have some uses. Warships and Rainmakers being 2 of them that come to mind right off the top. We are now at 741 victory points, which is fairly high for this account. This account was at 600 before I joined Triangle 9, but we do need some intel to run Forlorn Hope every single day, so that is the reason for my victory points going up. On the other hand, my other account is in Delta 9, which is doing Deep Cut daily, and its victory points are going slightly down a little bit, so really playing multiple accounts, I tend to focus on one of them. This looks like a fun base, actually. We're going to mark that boom cannon. Oh, I've still got brick loaded. This is gonna be our last attack of the day. I'm gonna drop all of this stuff over here, and then we're gonna throw a shock right about here, and brick's gonna get all sorts of things happening. And hopefully, look at that. Look at that. You see how they're targeting that back boom cannon? finally an example of what I was trying to show off there. Marking works incredibly well with Rainmakers. Not entirely required, but if you're trying to get a little bit fancy, it can be helpful. And at this point, this entire base is done like dinner, except for this front boom cannon's given me a little bit of concern. And thankfully, our Rainmaker is, you see that right there? Need to throw a smoke. Our Rainmaker killed all of our critters, so you just need to be aware of what the heck is going on, because on the edges, everything straight in front of you should be super duper safe. You shouldn't have any concerns with Rainmakers, but the things off to the sides are going to cause you fits, and so you just got to be aware of what's going on. And earlier I talked about the potential of using Everspark with Rainmakers. That right there is a great example of why Everspark isn't the best idea. A, she gets in front just like Brick, and B, the Rainmakers are going to explode her critters. So kind of like with Grenadiers, but more so because I think Rainmakers have slightly better aim than Grenadiers. Now, if you're going to try Rainmakers out on your operation attacks, do be aware that they're going to cause you problems on bases like Fang and Redline, because they're going to take out those front shield gens, and their aim is slightly better than Grenadier, so those back shield gens are going to cause you problems if you use Rainmakers on those operation attacks. But they do work on a few. Do check the cards. On Centaur, Minotaur, there is an amazing, amazing attack that can be done that is so incredibly awesome. Otherwise, that's all for me. Hopefully this Rainmaker video gets you excited, gets you using them. I'm going to claim my Season 16 rewards because 500 diamonds, all sorts of powder, all sorts of goodness. So good. Now, one more quick thing before we go. If this video helped you in any way, please do consider throwing Zmod in your creator boost. Now, there's a new season on Brawl Stars today. If you are going to be playing that, going to be buying the Brawl Pass, please consider throwing Zmod in there. It works on all Supercell games that support it. Otherwise, thanks for coming in. Do consider commenting, letting me know how you're going to be using Rainmakers, what sort of distribution, if you're going to be using 8 boats or 6 boats, which troops you're going to be using with them. Otherwise, as always, thank you for coming in and doing all of the right things, commenting, sharing, liking, subscribing, all that goodness. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.